How's it going, guys? White Rabbit here. Just wanted to make a quick video for you all on the topic of the Panama Papers. If you all aren't familiar with this new scandal that has recently come to light and is being covered vigorously by the mainstream media, the Panama Papers is basically the newest leak. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this briefly is because this appears to be, it's going to turn into a big deal. It's already a big deal, and it's just going to keep being a big deal. And I just want to preface this with saying that, in general, anything that you hear from the mainstream media should be taken with a grain of salt. Obviously, if you're on this channel, you already know that. But I just want to reiterate that point, okay? And something that gets a lot of coverage should be scrutinized to a higher degree. And for me personally, when it comes to mainstream media information, anytime I hear the term leak, as in something has been leaked, information has been leaked, my ears perk up. Because the first thing that comes to my mind is, who leaked this information? Who has access to this newly leaked information? And who does it affect? Who does it pertain to? Who benefits? And why now? Okay, these are all questions that you need to ask yourself anytime you hear the term leak perpetuated throughout the mainstream media. You have to remember, the mainstream media is bought and controlled, and they don't cover topics unless they want to cover topics, if you know what I mean. All right, unless they are told or instructed to cover certain topics and how to cover those topics. So whether or not these leaks are true is not really the point. In fact, I strongly believe that these probably are true. It's not difficult to believe. I don't know why this is coming as a shock to anybody anyway. I mean, rich people hiding their money so that they can avoid taxes. That's that's common sense. I mean, why this shouldn't surprise anyone. But why is it being covered? Why is it being covered now? And why is it being covered so much? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself. So the thing that I find interesting, you know, they're calling this Panama Papers a massive document leak reveals a global web of corruption and tax avoidance. No kidding. Yeah. We already knew that, didn't we? Are people really that asleep? Okay. But listen to this, okay? If you scroll down here on this website, and I'll leave links for these in the description down below, we see around 400 journalists from more than 100 media organizations in over 80 countries have taken part in researching the documents. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because you don't get to read the documents. They do. Which means that they can technically pick and choose what they share and how they go about sharing that information. This is a select few controlled individuals who are going through these documents. And I gotta tell you, wherever this leak came from probably had intent behind. Now, as you can see, this Panama Papers leak is 2.6 terabytes worth of data, allegedly. And that means that this is bigger than Cablegate, offshore leaks, Luxembourg leaks, Swiss leaks, all combined. Right? So this is a massive, massive leak. And to carry this on, what is, to me, the most amusing at this stage in the development is that so far, all the people in question, not a single one of them is American. And in fact, every single one of these individuals is either an enemy of the State Department or individuals that are basically casualties of war or people that we can, you know, hold things over their heads. None of these are Americans, at least not yet. And so, to me, I just kind of, I think that's, there's your smoking gun. I mean, come on. Now, they allegedly are claiming that there are Americans that are going to be exposed in this whole ordeal, or at least that's what they're alluding to. But guys, at the end of the day, like I said, you have to ask yourself, why now? Okay, why is all this being covered by the mainstream media? If this was a real leak, right, and real, government officials and celebrities and whatever that were in good with the New World Order, if you will, were included in this, then the media just wouldn't cover it. It's as simple as that. They just wouldn't cover it because it'd be bad publicity for them. It's really that simple. They're covering it for a reason. So anyway, James Corbett from the Corbett Report uploaded this fantastic video going over it, and I agree with him. And I'll share a link for his channel in the description down below, and for this video in particular. This guy does phenomenal work. He's more on the political and current event type of truther. He has a lot of good information. Some things I question, but all in all, solid information, solid researcher. So I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. Check it out. And yeah, moral of the story is take this with a grain of salt, guys, because to me, this is just propaganda. That's all it is. Whether it's true or not, the way that it's being used and the way that it's being framed is being used in order to push a narrative. And that's the point. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thanks, and God bless.